Hello, everybody. Tonight we are going to talk with Anna Mariani. She is the creator of a fantastic blog which is called Tea Squirrel. It's fantastic not only for the tea contents but also for the beautiful pictures and graphic of this blog. So after this, please go and check it out. So Anna is not only a writer, she is a content creator as well. She's a tea lover, tea blogger, let's say, but she's also a photographer. So I really want to ask her what's her main, how she defines herself, and we are going to talk about especially what tea represent for us. Last week we've been talking also with Alessandra about it, and before also with Anna Poyan. I'm inviting guests to talk about what tea represent for us in our life. And the message that we want to deliver is that tea can be a moment for yourself, a moment of mindfulness or relaxing. Let's just call it in a simple way, relaxing time. And not only the so-called tea lover or tea blogger can have this moment, but everybody can have it. Everybody can sit down with a cup of tea and alone or with a friend. And if it's alone, as Alessandra said last week, is a conversation with the cup of tea and with yourself, with your feeling. If with somebody, a friend or a new person, I never met Anna in person, so now we are going to go live, and it's going to be a kind of first meeting. I want to quote something that I reported in my diary. I found this in Anna's blog. It's one of her latest interview, and Anna says, "The act of sharing a cup of tea with someone instantly fosters the conversation and also requires a certain degree of attention and being present in the moment." So I like this because it's exactly the topic of today's conversation. So this being present in the moment, with a cup of tea, alone with a person. And I want to ask her how, here we go. Let's ask her how she, let's see if I accept the conversation. I can see you're here, Anna. And by the way, hi, hello.
Oh, hi, Lisa.
Hi, ciao. How are
Ciao.
you? And where are you?
I'm in my bedroom slash office,
Yes,
and here in LA it's 12 noon, so lots of natural light coming in.
yes. In LA, yes. I want to. Every guest is from a different part of the world, so it's important to say that even if we are both Italian, but it's nice to be international and yeah, to talk in English. Thank you for joining. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's for me it's an honor because I'm your fan. I'm reading your blog and checking it, and it's a real source of inspiration. And I'm so happy that you said that you wanted to join and talk about yourself and your blog. Your
Yeah,
tea.
thank you. Always a pleasure. And maybe people don't know this, but Elisa has written for my blog a couple of times, which is always exciting. Like she's been in Japan for a long time, so she knows what she's talking about. She's a pro, she's an insider. So it was always exciting to have you write for my blog, and thank you.
Thank you. Well, living in Japan is it helped me just to go and visit the farm. But for me, tea is a moment of sharing. And I read your quote just 1 minute ago. I don't know if you hear that, and I think we have a similar approach actually. I can see also from your beautiful pictures, you are sharing moments of beauty uh, through your pictures. And it's much more about the atmosphere that it gets me, that about this specific kind of tea and how you brew it. And tell me more about it, or let's do a step forward. When did you start this blog, and how, why, and what do you want to transmit with it?
Yeah, so my blog, The Tea Squirrel, I started back in 2016, so 5 years ago. And it basically started as a way for me to record my own tasting notes as I was going along my tea journey, and like to have them all in one place and to be able to refer back when needed, to compare different teas. But yeah, it was back in 2016, I had just moved from Seattle to San Francisco. And back in Seattle, I had discovered this amazing world of tea, and especially Chinese tea, like gong fu cha, so the traditional Chinese way of brewing tea. And that for me, having had tea my whole life in the background, it was like a world opened up to me. Like it was completely different from what I had known, back in Europe. I had no idea. I learned to use a gaiwan, the lidded cup that is used in China to brew tea. And so that really sparked the interest to really learn more and discover and explore and taste more and more. And then along the way, I met tea lovers who, like me, were excited about tea, about learning about tea. And so I experimented a lot with the blog itself, with interviews, with recipes, with tea travels, anything basically, because for me, tea is a way to reconnect with that creativity, like the inner child. I don't know if it makes sense, but for me, it's like having those fresh eyes to look at the world like a child, you in awe and in excitement.
Yeah, you just discover something new every day, right? New taste,
Yes.
or how the leaf open up. I'm drinking a oolong tonight, and every time I open the teapot, they are just like another, totally different shape. It's a kind of surprise. And
Yes.
I feel exactly the same. So tell me more. Your approach was a kind of technical approach. Did you study it, or it was always kind of learning by doing or by meeting people? How did you do it?
Yeah, basically, as you said, learning by doing, learning by tasting, and then along the way, attending workshops, classes, tastings, country specific rather than, tea type specific, attending conferences, tea expos, tea festivals, and talking to other tea people. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I agree. I mean, I can see this from your blog, because it's a nice reading. It's like reading a magazine about curiosities about tea, and also little moment. I love this series you did about the advent calendar, for example. It was
Oh,
a
yeah.
yes, it was a daily moment of happiness. It's just like these little things every day, just like it's, as you said, is coming back to our childhood and having a little surprise. So I totally agree. And recently, especially, you talk a lot about tea and mindfulness, and this is why you actually were the first person I called after enough mindful teas, and then it was you, because you already wrote about like three or how many articles, or how did you start? When did you get to this point of say, let's pair tea and mindfulness?
Yeah, so I wrote 3 overall. So I didn't delve deep like you do, and really cover mindfulness and tea from every angle. I just dipped my toe in it. But it was a nice experiment, because for me, tea is really about slowing down and putting away your phone and just having a moment to yourself or with a loved one, with a friend, and just, taking the time to listen, to focus on what you're doing. And tea is great for this, because if you really want to make a good cup of tea, you have to be present,
Yes.
to be mindful what you're doing. And, it's not just about chucking stuff in a teapot and, whatever comes out. And so for me, it was, I also had started a meditation practice. And so it all fit together really nicely. I also enjoy yoga very much. I practice it as much as I can, almost daily. And I feel like they're all pieces of a puzzle that help you be present and enjoy even the simplest things in life.
And how much time do you dedicate to this? I mean, you do this for yourself, right? It's not that you do this for the blog. It's the other way around. It's, yes. I think, like for me, Tealisa is a way to push me to do what I like the most, right? So it just keeping me doing my daily practice. So having said that, how much is this what you're doing, like practice for yourself, is business, let's say, or passion, and how much you just do it like naturally?
It is mostly for myself and for passion, and then whatever appears on the blog is the natural, consequence of it. So, which is why I also, at first, when I started the blog, I was very adamant on posting once a week. And now I really have to be excited by something to put it out on the blog. And so I prefer to practice on a daily basis, focus on mindfulness, on tea, on all these practices. And whatever comes out of it, if I'm really excited about it, then it will be on the blog. But yeah, so it's more for myself.
Yes. Also because you do everything alone, right? The picture, the graphic,
yes.
The content. And it's,
yes.
I really don't know that, but is that your main activity, main business, or you have like, if I ask you, what's your job? What's your reply? I'm really curious.
My blog is my job, but yes, it is my main gig. Is my main thing. And I absolutely love being able to do so many different things within the blog. So, the writing.
How do you define yourself? Tea blogger, writer, photographer?
It's I don't like labels, so it depends. I like the idea of defining what I do as content creation, even though nowadays it's very overused. I also like there's no one word to define, right? So I was writing for magazines, so somewhat I was also a journalist at some point. So, photographer as well, that's part of it. But I think if we needed an umbrella term, it would be content creation.
In spite of that, sorry to interrupt, but I want really this conversation to be honest. And as you said, when you talk with somebody, there is this curiosity, right? That if you're really there, I feel like that we are connecting now for the first time, because I never saw you face to face before. But seriously, like honestly, if as the blog is your main, if sometimes, like let's say for the full week, you absolutely don't feel it, how is your relation to tea changing? You don't feel like having tea, you are just like, it happens sometimes or not? I mean, how much the question is, how much, to what extent your job gets into your passion and you are forced to do that?
I try not to do anything by force. And so if I don't feel like it, I won't do it. And the beauty of the tea world is that if you don't feel like a certain type of tea, or teas from the Camellia sinensis plant, there are other teas, right? That are caffeine-free, or also there are plants that contain caffeine too, that are not Camellia sinensis. And
So you're not a purist at all?
I am a purist in the sense that since tea from the Camellia sinensis plant is a different thing from herbs and herbal teas or herbal infusions, to me, they're not mutually exclusive, right? And also, I think the definition of purist can vary a lot. So if you ask me, are you a purist for Camellia sinensis teas? You could say that, but, you know, it could mean anything, right? I enjoy pure teas, like without an added flavor. Sometimes I also enjoy a good Earl Grey, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
And so now you are exploring also some herbal tea, you said?
Yes.
Tell me more about it.
I absolutely love the world of herbal teas as much as Camellia sinensis teas. My favorites are, one, you are definitely familiar with it. It's Soba cha, the roasted buckwheat tea, typical of Japan. It's absolutely delicious. It's so roasted and nutty and has all those complex notes. So it's such a pleasure to drink.
Yeah, I'm surprised you know it, because also in Japan you have it only if you go to soba places. So soba people are like spaghetti, but yes, and very healthy, very light, and of course in this restaurant they serve it the tea made out of the same grain basically. But it's totally it's caffeine free, and it's like the mugicha, which is what I'm having here sometimes, is barley tea. So it's what they give to kids in Japan, and it's also good for your. And so it's interesting, because when you think about herbal tea, you think about chamomile, just pure mint, or instead this is a step forward. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I love Japanese culture. I've been in Japan a couple of times, so you know, I'm always curious to try anything that comes from Japan. So that's how I got to know Soba cha. Other teas that I love are, rooibos from South Africa, but also his cousin, honeybush, which is very similar in shape and taste. So those have all those woodsy notes, more, you know, more deep caramelized notes. And then I really enjoy even a simple chamomile. I like to mix it, actually. My chamomile, I make my own blend with lavender and rose petals.
Oh, really? Okay.
So
you really experimenting as well.
It's very colorful. Nice. It's fun. And then, I have many.
So this is, this is very good, because a lot of people, especially since they came back here, they are obsessed with caffeine. Here in Italy, they drink a lot of coffee, and they say, oh, no, please, when I get home after work, I just want chamomile, but I don't like it. So they end up drinking something not really nice. So this conversation actually can be very inspiring. And if you want, later on, we can also suggest where to get them. I'm totally welcome to any brand, because what I want to do is like giving to the people also the instrument, the tools to get to approach tea world in something much bigger and broad than just Camellia sinensis, as you said. For me, seriously, in the cup, it could be any kind of nice, healthy drink. It's just a meaning, right? A tool that can make you sit down a moment and not trying to release your stress, maybe having alcohol or going out or eating some junk food, right? So
definitely.
So this is very interesting and interested what you said, and especially now it's summer. Also there, yeah, yes, I'm always, and it's herbal tea are lovely iced. I just
Yes.
figured out that are my favorite at the end because also they last very long in the fridge. So cold brewing, you can leave it there even 2 days. They're nice. So this is very interesting to know. Yes. And what are you drinking? Because I saw you with a very nice cup.
Right now, I am actually drinking herbal tea, and it's roasted dandelion root. I don't know if you've ever had it.
Okay, yes, I think I used the wrong accents. Dandelion, dandelion, the yellow
Dandelion,
flower,
yeah,
dandelion.
exactly.
Thank you for the
Yes,
correct pronunciation. Okay.
and
Oh
it's
yeah.
can be a little bitter
I
if
think
you
that in
like
Italian is tarassaco. Is that
yes,
okay?
yeah. And this is the root
Mm-hmm.
that gets roasted, and it's very, if you're trying to, replace coffee with something healthier or without caffeine, maybe it's later in the afternoon, you don't want the caffeine. It's very nice. Like my husband drinks coffee a lot in the morning, and then in the afternoon he needs something that's not coffee, and
Yeah.
he loves the roasted dandelion root. You can also make a latte with it. So
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
it's
And
very
where
nice.
I'm curious now, where do you shop it? In LA or is an online shop we can you can
It's actually here. It's quite easy to find,
hmm,
even at the grocery store.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
make some research, and if people ask, or for sure, I will ask you to follow up with some of your favorite brand and tea houses and tea shop because everybody
Oh,
asks me where do you buy this and that, and it's interesting. It's really people that knows me. They know it's not promotion. I just want to help people because sometimes, especially here in Italy, but also in Japan, if you go to the supermarket, there is only green tea. And
hmm.
here in Italy, we know the quality of some tea bags, right? So,
Yeah,
addressing the people to the right place can make the difference. They, as you said at the beginning of this conversation, they can discover a new word and start playing like they were a child.
yeah. I think this in Italy you could probably find at a health food store or
Mhm.
a herbal shop like a baristeria, I would
Yeah.
say. I have not seen it at the grocery store in Italy, but I'll research.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, well, I hope we can meet in person during your next travel. Now
I
everything
hope
is
so too.
opening up a little bit. So I want to keep, I'm minding the time because I telling people it's only 20 minutes, it's a cup of tea, but seriously, I wish I could refill and get to know more because it's nice. This community allows people to know each other virtually, but very few time we actually get to know face to face. But tonight is special. Thank you
Thank you,
so much.
Elisa.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and I hope to see you in person soon next time I'm in Italy.
Yes, sure. Okay, so I say you bye. I'll try to keep and record that. And if people have some question, they can comment, or I'm sure we can follow up. Okay.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Grazie, Anna. Thank
Grazie.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye
Ciao.
bye.
Bye bye.